tutti e benvenuti alla conferenza stampa di Babycall. Ho il piacere di presentarvi i nostri ospiti qui sul palco questa mattina. Alla mia sinistra il coproduttore tedesco Karl Baumgarten, la produttrice Turid Oversveen, scusate la pronuncia che sarà pessima, ma insomma, il compositore Fernando Velázquez, questa è molto più facile. Gli interpreti del film Christopher Jones e Numi Rapaz e il regista del film Paul Sletame. Allora, se ci sono già delle domande, altrimenti comincio io con una domanda al regista. Vorrei chiedere al regista perché ha deciso di intraprendere questo viaggio nella mente? Quali erano gli aspetti di questa storia che è così ricca di colpi di scena, così affascinante e paurosa al tempo stesso? Ecco, quali sono le cose che voleva mettere in luce? Quali erano gli aspetti più affascinanti di questa storia che voleva raccontare?
For me, the film started with I read in the newspaper like maybe 6 or 8 years ago, and a small note about someone having overheard abuse in another, like in a baby monitor in a big apartment block, and I thought, okay, this must be something, so I put it in my scrapbook. Then, like maybe 2 years ago, I was sitting writing, and then suddenly I saw this person sitting in a car, and that was Anna. And I didn't know anything about her, or where she was going, or that she had a son with her. So I just started following her around, and I got this like sudden. Sometimes when you write, you get very clear vision of a character. You don't know who she is or what she's doing, but somehow you can follow her because she's telling the story to me somehow. And then I knew that these stories somehow belong together. And for me, this film is of course a film about perception and how individuals see the world from a different perspective, every one of us. And for me, it was a great challenge and very intriguing to write this story about a woman who had somehow really to reinvent her world to be able to, or to have the power to live there, to be alive. So for me, it's a film about, it fascinates me like this. It's a film about love and how somehow you change the world into a world you're able to live in. I mean, it's like a survival, like a method of survival. Everyone sees the world as they need to see it to be able or to have the power to live in the world.
Ancora una domanda per il regista, però alla quale potrebbe rispondere anche Numi. Ovviamente noi all'inizio del film non comprendiamo bene che madre sia questa donna che vediamo sullo schermo. E pensavo al fatto che negli ultimi mesi il cinema ha molto riflettuto sulla figura della madre e su come la maternità non sia un sentimento scontato, insomma, come diciamo culturalmente siamo abituati a pensare. Per cui ecco, volevo anche capire come avete lavorato anche sul concetto di maternità, che molti registi stanno cominciando a mettere in discussione.
Yeah, I think every time I enter a character, I need to translate her personality into me and kind of run her through my veins. So everything I do, I need to find the truth in me to be able to do it, because I don't like pretending. Weird enough, because we are pretending, but I don't like pretending. I don't like fake. So I always try to find a way to make it as close to me as possible. And then I need to, for example, with her, you know, with Anna being a mother, and I know, because I have a son, and I know how complicated it is, and I know how easy it is to kind of lose track and start to behave in a way that you don't want to behave. And I do think, because Anna is so, she have gone through so many bad things, and she is completely alone, and it's almost like she loves her son so much and she wants to protect him so much, but it's almost like she's struggling with him with her love, and she's almost, you know, too overprotecting, and so she takes his freedom away in a way. And I can understand that. So it's, you know, because I know it's hard, because with my own son, I want to give him freedom, but still I'm so afraid that something will happen to him. So it's a thin line, and I think, you know, every time you play a character, you need to find how it would be for you to be in that situation, and then I think the situations and the scenes can come to life. So I think it's very personal for me. Anna's journey and Anna's motherhood is very personal, and I try to delete the distance between me and her, because I don't come to set pretending to be someone else. It's more like I'm stepping into someone else for a couple of months, and then I stay there.
Ci sono delle domande? C'è una domanda lì? Prego.
Allora, Roberto Refrigio, continuo subito per nomi, proprio agganciandomi a quello che sta dicendo lei. Cioè, è vero, lei anche in Beyond ha affrontato questo problema, diciamo, della maternità dei bambini. Questo è un problema molto sentito nel nord, ma anche qui da noi qui in Italia. Quindi, tra l'altro, come si sente lei a passare da questi film molto impegnati, che magari il pubblico mal digerisce in certi casi, perché purtroppo sono storie drammatiche, magari reali, poi magari adesso si trova catapultata nei blockbuster di Hollywood. Come riesce, diciamo, ad abbinare la sua capacità di attrice in questo modo? Fa anche un paragone con come lavorate voi e come lavorano magari da Hollywood. Grazie.
I was quite surprised when I started to work on Sherlock Holmes, for example, and later on Prometheus, because I thought it was going to be a much bigger difference between like European, more indie, smaller movies and those big American blockbusters. But it surprised me that it was so... they gave me the spot and the space to work and to develop the characters, and they gave me a lot of freedom. So I felt like my work was pretty much the same, even though it's so much more people around, you know, of course, in a big production, and you have a bunch of assistants, and you know, the team is just thousands of people, and that's the biggest difference in a way. I don't think my work is the same, and I don't see any. I don't care if it's a big studio production, if it's a small, you know, Norwegian or Swedish or Italian movie. It doesn't matter. I think, you know, as actors and, you know, for a director as well, it's the same work, and maybe the difference is bigger for a director if you enter. And if you do a big studio movie, because maybe you have, you know, much more money and you can do kind of other things in the scenes. But for me, it doesn't really matter, it's the same thing. But what I do think is difficult sometimes is you need to find a way into it, so you do it personal. So it's not, you're not coming in and pretending to be this, you know, the sweet, charming girl. And you know, I think you must be truthful to yourself and find a strong... I must fall in love with everything I do. So when I read the script and when I met Robert Downey Jr., for example, and Guy Ritchie, I knew that I wanted to work with them. So it was more about the meetings and the energy between us in the first place. I didn't really think about it as a big American movie. It was more personal. So I think it's the same. I'm looking for the same things always when I read a script or when I meet people. So I don't really care if it's a big movie or if it's a small movie.
Vorrei chiedere invece a Christopher, abbiamo letto nelle note di produzione che lui ha un modo molto personale di approcciare il personaggio, se ci racconta un po' come ha lavorato al suo di personaggio.
Well, I've worked with Paul before, and luckily I knew him. And I don't know, we just started talking, and he he tries to explain and I try to understand. I try to understand him, and after a while, I think I did. And he said, well, he gave me the thumbs up, and we did it. So it's just communicating, just trying to understand each other.
Ci sono domande? Prego.
Volevo chiedere qualcosa riguardo alcuni spunti che vengono suggeriti nel film, ma forse volutamente non troppo chiariti. Mi riferisco al